Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2019 DeBerti Ford Super Duty F-250 Lariat Transformer. A little bit of a mouthful there. So yeah, this is a modified version of the standard Ford Super Duty F-250 Lariat, and yeah, DeBerti regularly modifies big trucks. We've had a few from them from other manufacturers like Chevrolet and Jeep, and yeah, this is like I think the second one they've done from Ford that is now on this game. So yeah, being a modified vehicle, as you can see, it's got a lot of extras on it, like extra lights, it's got like an aluminium grille, it's got all sorts of other aspects in terms of visual upgrades on the inside and outside. But the main upgrades are in terms of the stuff underneath. So it's got a torque shift 6-speed automatic gearbox. It's got a new oil pan, a EGR kit, which is an exhaust generating exhaust gas recirculating kit. Sorry. So that basically just makes the car more efficient. It gives it more power and other positives to go alongside that. It's now got diesel tuning. It's got an improved turbocharger. It's got air to water intercooler, cold air intake, and a Ford Performance exhaust. It's also got heavily revised suspension with new sway bars, coil springs, shocks. It's got now an auto leveling air spring system, so if it's going over any uneven surfaces, low rates of speed or high rates of speed, it's not going to be at an odd angle. And it has been lifted by 2 inches, which go along with the really rather quite bigger tyres and rims. So yeah, it's quite remarkably higher than what the standard car would be. And yeah, overall it is a better handling vehicle than, say, the F-450 Super Duty that we already had on this game from Ford themselves. As yeah, this is lighter, and yeah, with all of that suspension additions, it's definitely a better handling car overall. And yeah, looks pretty nice on the interior as well. Looks like it's got every gadget and toy and accessory that you could ever have, which is obviously a bonus. And yeah, got plenty of space in the rear as well, again as you'd expect for such a large vehicle. So yeah, this weighs 7,740 pounds, which is quite a lot, but it's nowhere near as much as, like I said, the F-450, which is well over £1,000. But the big party piece with this car is this. Voila! So yeah, basically just to give you more space for your work truck, basically. So all of these 3 lockers store tools, and yeah, there's 3 on the other side, as you can see. So you can fit all your tools for your, whatever you're doing, basically. If you're repairing cars or resto modding cars or anything like that, you can fit all of it in there. There's even a bit under the pickup bit as well that pulls out, but fortunately it's not replicated on this game. So yeah, those panels are now fiberglass to make them lightweight. And yeah, but again, another big party piece of this car is the engine. It's now a 6.7 litre turbo diesel V8, producing a massive 850 horsepower and 1,200 pounds-feet of torque, which is, yeah, remarkable, quite frankly. And yeah, way more than the F-450 Super Duty. And yeah, obviously if you upgrade it even more, you will get even more power out of it than that, and a hell of a lot more torque as well. So yeah, we're not going to go around the track with this because it is an off-road vehicle, but we will go on the off-road bit of the map that I like to go around in off-road vehicles. But yeah, nonetheless, let's get out to the open road and see what this car can do. So yeah, even with all of that power and torque, obviously it's quite a heavy vehicle. It's not the most aerodynamic of vehicles, so acceleration and top speed isn't going to be the greatest given the amount of power it's got, but it's hardly a slow vehicle. So yeah, let's get down this drag strip, see how quick we can go before we hit the speed camera, and then we'll get around the off-road bit of this map that I enjoy driving on with off-road vehicles. So yeah, being a diesel engine, most of its power is at the top end of its rev range. And yeah, you can definitely feel the need for the new torque shift 6-speed automatic gearbox, because I imagine with all this power and torque, the original gearbox would be torn apart. So yeah, nearly 120 mile an hour there. That is not bad for a car of this size and weight. So yeah, but what this is clearly built for is more for going off-road and being a work truck. So yeah, with that, those transformer rear fenders, and the fact it's got all-wheel drive and plenty of ride height, and those big fat chunky off-road tyres, yeah, it's clearly something that's going to be able to go anywhere you want, no matter what. So yeah, and yeah, it's not bad in terms of acceleration either. 0 to 16, 5.344 seconds, 0 to 112.933 seconds, and it will go into a top speed of 155 miles an hour, which is, yeah, definitely a quick top speed for a vehicle of this size and weight. I wouldn't want to do that kind of speed in a vehicle that is more standard than this, but with the suspension that it's got going on, it definitely feels like a tighter vehicle, a more composed vehicle, and one that you could trust to do at speed on any kind of conditions that you throw it on road or off road. So yeah, I'm overall impressed by this. It's definitely my favourite of the DeBerti vehicles that we've had on this game, because this does feel like something that is on more of its own kind of thing. Not just because of the transformer aspect, but because it genuinely feels like it's had a heavy amount of reworking on the suspension, and in terms of the power and torque that it's got going on as well. So yeah, generally feels like its own thing, and could definitely see this being something that would sell well if, you know, as a more of a production vehicle. But obviously, being a you know, a modified vehicle, it's not something that's going to be put out to full production. I imagine very few of these would be made, and if they were, they would be highly expensive, because yeah, all of that suspension work and the improvements to the engine and all of the transformer aspects, I doubt are very cheap to make, and obviously something that's not cheap to make is obviously going to be expensive to buy. So yeah, but I'm glad it's in this game. It's going to be hilarious to fully upgrade this diesel engine and see what it can do on extreme off-road silly bills, but that's going to be for another day. So yeah, you can get this via getting 20 points on the festival playlist. Not difficult at all to get those 20 points, and yeah, if you're into your big trucks, which I sort of am, definitely when they're as fun to drive as this, then yeah, it's well worth getting. So get out there and get it if you haven't already, and yeah, especially if you do these kind of trucks. So yeah, we've got 3 more trucks coming in the festival playlist. We've got another Ford in the form of the F-150 from the mid-80s, and then we've got an early 70s Chevrolet as well. So both of which are also pickup trucks. And then we've got finally the Hummer EV, which I'm really looking forward to. Already driven that on one of the festival playlist races. I think it's a Rivals event. So yeah, and it was really fun to drive around in that. So look forward to seeing the reviews of all 3 of those cars as well. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.